or something. We're back in Sasquatch Canyon. This is our first expedition here since wintertime. We feel it's a good time to get back in here and service some cameras that have been here about 5 or 6 months, the whole winter and into the spring. So we're excited to get those. I mean, never really expect much. Hopefully we get a surprise. We'll definitely show those at the end of this video if we're actually able to get in and collect them. But the sun's going down. We'll probably end up doing most of this hike, especially on the way back in the dark. Yeah, it could possibly be people doing that, but the crazy thing is that's exactly where that thing was sidestepping in the snow, is right here.
Right through here.
So.
It's been built in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably all at once, in fact. That's what. I don't recall this at all.
It's been added to. There was, it started in the fall. There was a few rocks here they've been added to, but you know, doesn't necessarily mean it's Bigfoot. Could be someone that's seen our videos and recognized the spot and it's like, hey, I'm gonna put a stack of rocks where that thing was sidestepping in the snow. Because yeah, it sidestepped from in between those two trees right across here and headed up on that mountainside, and that very same day is where something ran up the mountain and hid from us. We caught it on the camera in the background. You'll have to look at our breakdown videos. Derek did a breakdown of that thing that ran up there. Not saying it was a Bigfoot, but it's amazing it happened in the same area that the Bigfoot tracks were headed.
It was brown and quick.
And did not want to be seen. It was obvious it was running and hiding from us.
I can't rule it out. But it's got to go through a lot of stuff to roll to here.
That rock's not rolling. That rock is bouncing and sliding. You know, there's all this vegetation right here that would have caught that rock. That rock was placed there by a person
I don't know, that's
or an animal.
That's a lot of something chucked it off the top of that, or if it fell off the part of the top.
That's a good distance from that cliff to here. That's a long distance. That's about 100 yards, dude.
You would expect to see something broke. You know what I mean? If it came through here, it would have took some things out coming. Either way,
it's out of place. That wasn't here last year. And look at the texture of that rock, folks. It looks like the bottom of an ocean or a waterway. 70 million years ago, this was the bottom of an ocean.
Yep.
That's where all this limestone and shell came from.
In fact, I saw shells earlier, right when we got out of the truck. That distinctly came from the ocean. A long time ago.
Yeah, we're near areas of Utah where they're just rich with dinosaur fossils that either lived on the edge of an ocean millions of years ago, or the creatures that actually lived in the ocean. I mean, the famous Utah raptor was its home 70 million years ago. And now we think this area may be home to the elusive Bigfoot.
Wait, let's clear that up. It's not a thing. He's here.
Well, Derek's a knower. Derek's actually seen the thing from just a few feet away. I, on the other hand, have not had a clear sighting.
We are about a 4-hour drive from where I had a sighting, though.
Yep, your sighting was actually in the Rocky Mountains, though. Wasatch Front is Rocky Mountains all the way, man.
Right up there on the left.
Yeah, this is, Derek's telling you, this is kind of where me and Mike got that eye shine at night when we smelt and heard something walking around us.
Up behind this tree right here is where it was.
Yeah.
And we point that out all the time, but it happened right here.
Yeah, it took us quite a while to pinpoint exactly where it happened. A lot of watching the video and coming in here. But yeah.
Little lookout canyons right there.
We actually caught the eye shine right here. It was standing behind this tree. And then Mike and I actually went towards the creature. And then it glanced away and like headed off that way or something.
Walk down through here, though. You walk down through here, and this is right where it turned, and the eye shine was about halfway up this tree, right here. And Mike, it looked like you could just reach down and grab Mike. I mean, if it's standing there, it's a little bit ways back, but
it looked to me like it would have had to give way. It looked like we walked almost right to where it was standing.
And what you heard, and it absolutely could have been behind there, because you guys heard it walk. You heard it move, and
we heard it walking on the rocks.
Through the shell. Look at the shell rock all the way through here. This is a runoff in the spring. Don't look like it right now, but...
Yeah, listen to me walking on the rocks. That's what we heard. Walking around us and away from us. And
we go back to this, but we're just putting you guys back into perspective of where we are.
We're just leaving the bear cave and we could smell something back there behind us. We also heard rock clacks earlier and some whoops and whelps. I don't know if that was an echo of us cracking a rock or if something just cracked a rock, but did you hear it? Off to our right.
I think so.
Same direction we heard it the last time.
Seemed like we came right through there. Yep, there's a track.
Yep. Mike's backtracking our tracks out of here in the snow.
That's funny. Give little tour guides. Now, here on your left is Lookout Canyon. Found bedding site, handprints coming down, etc.
Yeah, 2 years ago, in the middle of February, and this little cliff right here is covered in ice and snow, and on the top of it, Jenny and I could hear a pair of individuals having a conversation in a language we couldn't understand, but it sounded like human language up there. Nobody parked out on the main road. No human footprints in the snow. And we're like, why would someone climb this ice-covered cliff to have a conversation up there? this exact camera that I'm using right now is what I had that day, and the microphone just didn't pick up any of it, but we both clearly heard it, and the conversation went on for a couple of minutes before it stopped. So, you know, I'm thinking there's a chance I may have heard Bigfoot conversation, because there was no people here, and last time I checked, bears don't talk. I mean, it was a language. I mean, to me, it could have been, you know, it could have been Chinese, it could have been German, whatever. It was just a language I didn't understand. We're coming up on a section where I've found some really nice footprints, and casted one of them. You guys watch our Sasquatch Canyon videos, you'll see us casting a few footprints in these areas. But yeah, it was right through here. Did you hear that vocalization? I just heard a whoop or a long grunt. I hope the camera picked it up. If the Bigfoot are back here, there's usually a sentry towards the mouth where we're at, and they'll warn the rest that we're coming in, and that may have been the little warning scream or whatever. Did you hear it, Derek?
I caught like a deep rumble, almost like distant thunder.
It's getting dark fast.
It's wide.
Derek just found it. Look up at the toes and then the hill.
Hill here, edge of the foot going here, and then all the way around. In fact, hold on.
It's clear as day to us. I don't know if the camera's picking it up.
I've been casting.
Will you show them where it's at, Derek?
Absolutely.
No, we brought your vehicle this time, and my casting's always in my vehicle.
We got some buried deeper
do.
in. But right here, here's the hill of whatever it was. You can see it right through here, all the way down to here. And here's where the toes are.
Oh, you got a tape. I was going for a tape in my
Yeah,
cargo
I got a
pockets.
tape.
Okay, Derek's gonna throw a tape on
You
it.
got a width of almost 9 inches right there. In fact, I'd put it at 9 inches. And you got a width,
At length.
a length of, it's about 15 and a half,
It could possibly be 16.
16.
Close to 16.
Yeah. So,
And it may have been muddy. It may have slid around in there and made it wider than it normally would be. It looks like there was a little slippage
it
going on
definitely
one
looks
side.
like there was slippage, but
But-
this just, it might have made it a little wider this way, because that's a little bit wider than what we typically see. We typically see about an 8 inch or so.
I would like to point out what Cliff Brockman says about footprints. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the exact dimensions of the foot. It's just where the ground was damaged by the impact of the foot. So they can slide around and be a little bit wider, longer than normal, distorted. But that's definitely a heel on that end, a splay of toes on this end, and it's pretty close to 16 long.
Splay of your toes right there.
Measure the width of the hill.
Width of the hill itself is about 4.5 inches. It's almost dead on, 4.5 inches.
Actually, it looks like you're shortening it. It looks like it's wider
Almost
to me.
5.
I see the hill going clear out to here, dude.
Well,
It looks like it's about 5 inches wide to me.
and you're probably right.
But it depends
This
on where
is
the
a
hill.
rock here.
The closer you get to the back of the hill, the more narrow it gets at the curve. But yeah.
So you're 4.5, 5 inches is basically where you're talking.
All right.
But that potentially castable, I think.
You
You got a little bit of a slope. It'll run downhill. It'll run down to here. So it would be kind of tough to actually get a good one of it. It would come out looking a little funny. But
It's potentially castable.
that looks like a very good footprint.
You know, for someone that's never casted a footprint and they're doing their first one, I would jump all over that. But this looks like it's more trouble than it's worth to me in the situation it's in. Especially because it looks like it slid on one side.
You'd have to have enough casting. You couldn't do it with just a single casting.
Not the type of kits that we have. You'd need a few casting kits. Alright, well, I'm going to look around a little bit more for footprints. The footprint that we filmed for you guys, it's come down out of here. And we've also filmed them going up there. So this is on our bucket list. This little side canyon right here. We're going to make an expedition where we're going to actually go up and explore this side canyon and see what is up there that would bring Bigfoot in and out.
That's when we're feeling very ambitious.
Yeah. Well, it needs to be dry, no mud, no ice, and it looks like we're getting close to that. Yeah, when we were checking out the footprint back in here, Derek heard talking. And there's nobody parked out on the dirt road at all. So I don't know, maybe a vagrant turned into a mountain man is living back here. Or it's the elusive Bigfoot that we're after. See, running water. The spring never dries up, at least according to the Department of Natural Resources. When there's a drought, this is one of the few places that has water. You know, all the other rivers and creeks dry up. And according to the 1977 sighting investigation, when they talked to the DNR, Bigfoot sightings go up in this area during a drought. The DNR says they get more people calling and saying, you know, hey, I seen a giant hairy man, you know. So, and that's pretty cool that they admitted that years ago, because a lot of professional agencies won't admit that they're getting these reports. Yep, Derek was letting you guys know that we've found footprints right here. 19-inch footprints here. I just heard a vocalization. It sounded like a dog barking. Sounded like a bark. If it's getting dark enough, I may have to switch to infrared here soon. Eric named this area the Bear Cafe because a lot of times during the warmer parts of the summer, this little slot canyon is pretty much in the shade all day. It's nice and cool, so we'll go back in there and have our sandwich or whatever we brought. There's still a little bit of ice back there, Derek. Yep. Turned my autofocus off on the camera, so it's not going to let me zoom in on stuff. And I do that so that my camera doesn't lose focus while I'm hiking. This camera is definitely not as good as my daytime camera. This is my night camera. It sucks at everything except for IR. It's got one purpose, and that's infrared. And it's really good in low light. Obviously, I don't have the infrared on yet.
Squawk took an endo up the top of that hill. Just pointing that out.
We have found a structure up there, a really tightly weaved structure. We're coming back to service a couple of game cameras. And there's a storm rolling in tomorrow. So we decided, even though we're going to be hiking out of here in the dark, we thought it was best to get in here and do that tonight. Otherwise, there's a cold front coming in that's supposed to last a couple weeks, so we may not be able to get back in here for about 3 weeks. There's a full moon tonight, but it's overcast, so it isn't going to do us a bit of good. It's going to be pitch black when the sun goes down. Still a little bit of snow. It's a spot that's shaded all day. There's a big old moose. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can easily tell. A moose in North America is more deadly than a bear.
Mountain lion.
Yeah. They kill more people in North America than any other mammal.
I have that picture.
I was trying to focus in on the clouds. It's not supposed to start raining and snowing until tomorrow. But when you're in the Rocky Mountains or any other mountains, they make their own weather. And the weatherman makes his predictions and it does what it wants to do. It's dark enough, we're starting to switch over to infrared. Looks great to you guys, but it's a lot darker to us. We're happy to see this part of the trail doesn't have ice and mud on it. Derek almost slipped off of one of these a couple of years ago. He actually slid right to the edge. So we go a little bit later in the year now.
Keep in mind, it was the whole ground shifting, not me losing balance.
No,
It's the whole ground shifted.
It was mud and ice. The whole ground started sliding, yeah. You couldn't control that even with the best pair of boots. 9 times out of 10, when I fall down hiking, it's because the ground gives way underneath me.
Caught glimpses of.
Hey, there's a cave I've never really noticed before.
I see it.
Dang it, this night vision camera just can't.
Usually don't stick out that much because usually you got the sun that goes right on that, so it lightens it up. We've got movement on that hill too. Epic Bigfoot expedition. You didn't see a lot of it, but you would catch a dark shape that would move behind trees or a group of bushes. Probably saw it 3 or 4 times. You never get a visual on what it was though.
Yeah, I want to point that out.
But it's obviously big.
That year that we had the Epic Bigfoot expedition is the same year that Mike and I had the eye shine. it's the same year that Jenny and I found the footprints in the snow. And then I have to point out, I found a Bigfoot sighting report of a guy 10 miles from here that found a trackway of footprints. It was a real active year where they were definitely here.
Then the same weekend we were here.
Yeah, it was like the same weekend he found footprints 10 miles in the snow. Yeah, it was at a higher altitude or elevation than we were, so there was still snow, or the snow had come early to that part. Yeah, so I was really excited when I found his sighting report video. I'll try and look it up for you guys and leave a link to it at the end of the video. Bunch of pine boughs on the ground right here.
Broke too. That's a tree that came down.
Yeah, a tree fell down right here. Looks like something's ripping them off the tree. But then again, could have been from the tree hitting the ground, and it's really busted out.
I don't see that. There's no way. I could see this falling and maybe breaking some stuff, but the impact of this thing hitting the ground, there's no way it did that. Because if you don't notice, it fell uphill.
Yeah, it
This
did
is the
fall
top
uphill.
of the tree.
Yeah, it looks like something's come in and has shredded up the tree to use it.
Snapped it, broke it into a bunch of little pieces.
Yeah.
I mean, they're little tiny, like it exploded. See, this is a perfect example. That big ass tree, and look at the rabbit. Just going down the hill right there.
Yeah, I doubt the camera can pick that rabbit up.
Got a
It
little
might
eye
have.
shine. But this tree right here, it didn't explode. It's a lot bigger tree, and it fell downhill.
Yeah, the branches that didn't hit the ground are just fine. Where this one's branches on both sides
Are shattered in lots of little pieces. I mean, like something intentionally, like made a bed out of it.
may very well been. Quick shelter. Looks like it could have slipped a couple. It looks like something actually slipped right over there.
This is one of those things that it's out of the ordinary.
I agree. I just heard another vocalization up the canyon.
Dude, that's a bedding site.
Yeah, something slept there. Whether it purposely made that or it come down, that may have been the tree may have come down naturally, and something using it as a bedding spot may have broke it
I
out.
absolutely believe that.
Uh-huh.
That, if anybody knows, you ever see a bear or a cat or anything like that build something like that? If you have, write it up.
Show us the video.
Show us the video, post it, do something.
Yeah.
We may have just chased it out because that's relatively new.
Yeah, it's a very fresh spot. I mean, you can tell because the
Even
pine
those
boughs,
broken
the pine
branches
boughs
are
haven't,
still fresh.
the needles
They're
haven't,
still growing.
the needles are still supple and green, haven't started turning color yet.
That's a good find.
Sorry we didn't spend more time on it, but we need to get in here before it gets too dark.
You missed that?
Another vocalization?
No, something just took off up that hill. I'm gonna go with that rabbit.
Well, I can hear something still moving around up there. It's getting really dark fast. Darkness. I have found a 14-inch footprint in this river before, like it come down to drink.
Great.
And the one with the 14-inch footprints, we think it's a mama. Because we're always finding what used to be 7-inch footprints around that one. And last year we found them and they had grown to 8 inches. We've also found where she has put her right hand down a couple of times, like she was carrying the youngster in her left hand, and put her right hand down a couple of times while she was climbing. You know, sometimes we find these footprints and you're just like, am I going crazy? And then you find a handprint to go along with it. And it just, you know, it's corroborating evidence. It starts building up that it's not just a coincidence. There's something with feet and hands that lives back in Sasquatch Canyon. That's where the sun set, folks. It sat about an hour ago, and that's just residual light coming up. It is dark. And we're on the steepest ascent of the hike.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
This is Derek's first outdoor hike of the year. I mean, he's been exercising at home, but this is his first high elevation hike.
Hate the winters. Recovery from winter sucks.
Yeah, I got bronchitis this winter, and that was almost 2 months ago, and my lungs still haven't recovered from that.
I do the same thing, bro. It's about a month worth of hell.
Well, I still got a dry cough that comes up on me once in a while from it. We we live in a valley that gets temperature inversions all the time that holds everything in the valley. And so it holds the pollution there for days and weeks, sometimes in the wintertime. And just it seems like everybody I know this winter where we live either had bronchitis or pneumonia, no matter how old or young. From 18-year-old kids all the way up to, well, Jenny's stepdad has pneumonia right now. I know, I need to get out of the industrial valley.
Yep.
Just for those reasons alone. That was weird. I thought I caught eye shine in that tree for just a second.
You know, I thought I heard something moving down there, walking through the brush. That's why I...
Whatever it was, probably glimpsed at us for a second and turned it to...
Well,
did you catch eye shine again?
no. I just caught like... We are getting so many different vocalizations, people.
Well, the nocturnal animals are coming out.
True. Everything's letting everybody know we're here.
Well, hopefully they know we're at the top of the food chain. I just don't want to run into a moose or a mama bear with cubs. But I think we're making enough noise that she will.
As much as I want to, I don't want to run into a female squatch with a baby.
Yeah. We'll guarantee everything that lives in this canyon knows we're here right now. We got lights going, cameras. That's a big old crater. Something stepped there. Could have been a moose.
Oh, there's a big mud puddle. That's what I told you.
Yeah, I walked along there too.
Well, I was looking at the poo.
That's rabbit. Rabbit didn't make that hole.
It is?
Those little pellets.
You're probably right.
That's cottontail, man. The farm I grew up on, we raised rabbits. We raised rabbits for restaurants and stuff. And once in a while, we would have a barbecue and it would be rabbit. I don't eat rabbit nowadays, but when I was a kid, my parents fed me plenty of rabbit.
There's something else we did all the time.
What's that?
Rabbits. I raised rabbits and remember swapping the knot. Him whacking the head off.
Well, I'll tell you what, they tasted like chicken to me, so why not just eat chicken? Ooh, the temperature's starting to drop. Don't know why someone intentionally wrapped tinfoil here. Say a person did that. Go out on a limb. We're coming up on Mirkwood, Derek. This is the part of the hike that I dread at night because it's so thick that animals can slip up pretty damn close to you without detection. But on the other side of Mirkwood is our goal. we're coming up to a section where we get a lot of wood knocks. Yeah, I can tell a moose has been through here, Derek. Another downed tree. This tree was from last year. That one. Actually, this one fell this winter. Looks like it's been dead for some time before it come down though. I know you viewers want us to be quiet so we can sneak up on Bigfoot, but we're just going to have to get an aggressive Bigfoot that shows itself anyway, because I'm not being quiet in moose and bear territory. A mama bear with cubs get seen here quite often. The local rancher sees it all the time, and I captured her and her 2 cubs on a game camera right at the edge of the photo at a distance. I have posted it, but it's not that exciting. I mean, when people do see it, they're like, oh yeah, that's a mama bear and a cub. If it had been a Bigfoot, everybody would dispute the hell out of it. But because it's a known animal, people right away, oh yeah, that's a mama bear and cubs, you know what I mean? So,
This is down in the bottom where it's thick enough that it's just going to hang around.
you know, and you guys will every once in a while see logs that have been chainsawed. Elk hunters that like to bring horses back here during the elk hunt, they'll come up a few weeks ahead with a chainsaw and clear out the area. So we're not the only ones that use this. But most of the people that use it seasonally, just for the hunt. We've ran into elk hunters one time and bear hunters another time up here. And I gave the bear hunters disappointing news that I had not seen or game cammed a boar bear. All I've gotten was a female and her cubs. We're getting to the mouth. We're getting to the mouth of Land of Giants, folks. Derek's finding suspect
It's little.
tracks. Looks like a shoe or a
Kind
boot.
of. But there's no, I mean, to go down, that's the thing.
Yeah, you're not sinking in, but if they did it when it was the mud.
I know, but if it was the mud, and the only reason I say that is because if it was the mud, you'd get a boot print. Anyway, it's small enough that it don't matter. But
It is a footprint.
there's a footprint. In fact, I found it in the middle of the dark.
Uh-huh. Well, the ones that are close to human size, they're, you know, you really don't pay attention to those till you find the big ones. And then it's like, well, maybe it's a juvenile hanging out with mom or dad or whoever. And we did find a big one down there that was 16 inches long earlier.
start glowing reflectors on the back of it.
Mine does? Oh, that's good.
Goes up and down.
I'll have to remember that if I'm ever in a survival situation. I've got reflectors on this backpack. I had no idea. If I actually have this backpack on, I got like a dozen different packs for different situations that I like. This.
And it's pitch black.
Yeah, I really want to get those cameras serviced and get out of here. We're close to them. Yeah, definitely been a moose here. Dead silent back here. That's eerie. It's dead silent in the land of the giants. Ooh. The hair's standing up on the back of my neck, dude.
Walking into Bigfoot Highway.
Check how deep those are in the ground. Big old moose. Now if we could find a big old Bigfoot footprint that size. Or I mean that deep. Nothing Bigfooty standing out right away.
Kind of. It's real hard to see, but
I see it. That is large foot shaped. It looks about as long as the 16 inches you found earlier.
I put my tape away. Damn it. You got
It's
tape
all
on you?
I want to get those cameras and get out of here.
You don't want to measure that? Here.
It's
Totally put together.
that's,
It's about as long as that.
It's about 16 inches.
It's a little bit. It goes up to that first nickel there. It's actually a little bit longer.
Well, that does look like it could be 18.
That's a big freaking print, dude.
I got a tape measure available. Here, here's mine.
That's absolutely 100% castable. 18 inches.
That's the big one.
18 inches right on. And then you're looking at,
Yeah, and he's probably watching us measure his footprint right now.
see that, look at the width of that damn thing.
Haven't you had the sense we've been watched for about the last 10
Dude,
minutes?
that's got 11 inch,
Here's,
12 inch.
that's got to be a double step then. I found it very clear, and it's always been around 8 inches wide. It might be a double step.
Either way, that is massive. That's big. And in the dark. Just saying. You're welcome. There's that one that Anthony was talking about, Moffett.
Was it an IR camera?
Yeah, I believe it was an IR camera. It was about the same price.
Huh, we'll have to look into it.
We'll have to ask him.
I want a better IR camera. I want one that has more distance than this one. Seems this one's only good for about 50 feet. And I want to be able to see about 100 yards in the dark. Except for when you get into this thickest stuff, you're not going to even see more than 50 feet in the daytime. Wait, thought I heard movement. The temperature's actually really nice. We haven't had to put a jacket on or anything yet. We're up about 8,000 feet elevation, so if you hear us breathing hard,
There's a reason.
80% of people live under 1,000 feet elevation. We live at 4,000, so we're double what we're used to right now.
Kind of makes you wonder what percentage of people never even make it to 8,000 feet in their lifetime.
Yeah. I know I was watching some Bigfoot group that they get to 4,000 feet and they call it high elevation Bigfooting.
High elevation.
And I'm like,
What? My toilet's higher than you.
yeah. We live at 4,200.
And that's if you're actually in the down in the valley, not on the side hill.
But you live at sea level, 4,000 feet, man. You're having a hard time breathing, so just imagine being at 8, where we're at now. And usually, we stay the night to acclimate ourselves.
I guess,
And we didn't stay the night last night. We just got here, and we're gonna do this night hiking.
I can give them something to kind of relate it to. For the East Coasters, Virginians specifically, that whole mountain ridge line goes along the western
See my camera right there?
Appalachians. They go along the western part in Virginia. I think their highest point's right around 4,300 feet. And mind you, don't mark me as being right dead on, because it's somewhere's about that. But as high as those are, that's where we live. And we're twice as high as where those are now. I guess that's just common
Puts it into
sense
perspective.
from what we said, but
There's a game camera that's been up all winter. I doubt the camera can pick it up, but it's right in the middle
I
of
see it
Yeah.
right there.
Oh, your spotlight actually helps. Yep, there's one game camera. And we're gonna go get another one.
Let's go get the other one first.
That
'cause that's
one on the way back.
That's another 100 yards.
And let's actually come back to here and go down this way to get it. We'll come right back to here.
That's that hill that jumped and cleared it.
Yeah, right here, Derek. It was actually right here. It jumped right here. It jumped down here in the snow.
Cleared and landed on that side hill.
19-inch bipedal footprints. We measured a really good one right here. It come up this way, and then on its way back, it jumped from where we're standing all the way across this creek. That's probably about 30 feet that it leaped down.
Yep.
That's actually a leap I would not want to make. You risk busting an ankle or a knee on that. And
You wouldn't make it. You could run a full sprint. Even
A long
long
jumper.
jumper is landing in the middle of this creek.
Yeah. What the long jump record's like a little over 30 something feet.
Is it that far? Really?
I believe long jump records are right around 30 feet.
That dude's a badass.
And that's full on running as fast as a person possibly can and leaping on a flat.
Yeah, you'd probably break your ankle because you're not only going 30 feet, but you're also dropping 10 feet.
But something with 19-inch length feet and is 8-9 feet tall could probably easily leap that casually. That bugger's probably watching us right now.
I honestly don't. I have no doubt. It's been listening to us and smelling.
Here's some deer scat. A little bit of deer. Most of the elk and moose are long and oval shaped. Yeah, big old moose has been up here.
Look at the size of that.
That's a big moose.
Holy shit. I do not want to meet him. I would like to see him, but not right now.
I would like to see him during the daytime from a distance, please.
You see, one of my buddies had posted a video on YouTube the other day. Somebody, a car had pulled up. I don't know if it was their house or not, but they had pulled up. There's two big old massive moose just going at each other, just going fighting right in these people's driveway.
Yeah,
I'd like to come home to that.
When they're in the rut, they don't care where it happens.
Oh man, they were not little either. They were big. That was a howl.
Yeah, I heard it. I hope the camera gets some of these. It looks like it might be clearing up. Hopefully we get a full moon.
Hopefully we can get out of here without getting wet.
We've got 2 game cameras serviced so far. Gonna service one more. And then hike out and go to camp. Yeah, we don't like to hike this far at night. We usually don't. But we wanted to get these game cameras serviced, and there's a storm coming in tomorrow.
We're just discussing that this is probably the latest we've ever been back this far outside of the night you spent the night.
Yeah. Yeah, I've backpack camped back here before.
Here's remnants of it.
Yeah, there's our campfire.
In the middle of the elk beds.
Yep, that wasn't last November, but the November before. It actually snowed on us. We woke up to snow.
I was up here. I just wasn't back here.
Derek went backpacking up a different canyon. We were trying to scout out where the Bigfoots were for Les Stroud. You know, we've seen them in this canyon. Doesn't mean they're going to be here every time. I'm sure they have a huge range. Any large animal needs a huge range. You know, a wolverine, for instance, they say usually has about a 50 square mile territory of male wolverine, so.
We're talking about ancient seabed.
Yeah.
You find these all over the place. Usually they're a little bigger though, but in any case, there you go.
Crossing right here. Okay. Alright. We're just about done with what we come up here to do, and then we can get out of here. Alright, cameras are serviced. We're going to hike the 3 or 4 miles out of here in complete pitch black. And, oh man, my knees are sore, Derek. Ooh.
I stepped on this rock. It's actually a rock.
That's a rock?
Solid, yeah.
If there's anything actually on the game cameras, even if it's not Bigfoot, we will show you. But I'm always interested in to know what the habitat in a Bigfoot spot is. You know, the plants and animals, because the Bigfoot may be eating one, the other, or both. So, you know, we go into Bigfoot sighting hotspots looking for Bigfoot, but we also want to know what the habitat is, why people are seeing them there, what's bringing them in. And I told you guys earlier that this Sasquatch Canyon is a dependable water source, even in a drought. These springs keep bubbling up water. And of course, that brings in all the animals. I'm going to extend my monopod. I need a walking step in case my knee gives out. I love monopods because it stabilizes the camera, gives you a hiking staff, and one last act of defiance if a bear's coming after you. Maybe slow him down for a half a second. Maybe you can get that mace spray or that gun fired. What sucks about a bear is when it decides to attack, it usually doesn't hesitate. If you get a bluff charge, feel lucky because they're just trying to intimidate, but they decide to attack, you usually don't get a bluff charge. They just come in and mow you over. Especially a mama with cubs, they attack without hesitation. When I'm hiking in the dark with Jenny and I start bringing stuff up like that up, she's like, "Stop it, you're making me nervous." She doesn't like to hear about all the scenarios.
I'd have to say, man, watching that bear tear up that cedar with the rock there.
That rock's been there for 4 or 5 years.
Maybe I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah, it's been there 4 or 5 years. It's in a lot of videos.
That's awesome.
And we've decided to never mess with it. Just leave it where it's been forever.
That bear, when that SUV hit it and ran it over,
Oh yeah.
ripping itself out from underneath that sucker, got itself out and ripped the whole tire and everything off. That was one pissed off bear. Not something I'd want to encounter.
We saw that video a day or two before we went bigfooting in Montana, which is home to a lot of grizzlies. I've heard estimates of 400 or 500. Yeah, we saw that the day before we left, and so that was always in the back of our heads the whole time we were there. You know, people talk about how powerful they are, but you see the power of one to be able to lift up a suburban type vehicle that it was wedged under. I mean, it lifted that vehicle.
And I believe a Squatch is more powerful.
And not only did it lift that vehicle, it ripped the tire halfway off. Bit the tire after it got out. It was still pissed, and it attacked the vehicle and ripped the tire off just like it was a donut, popping it and ripping it off. And yeah, if I can find a link to the video of that, I'll put the link on here for you guys. You guys can look it up, man. Yeah. Google it or search it on YouTube.
Russian?
It was a Russian, yeah. Yeah, what happened is somebody hit it and ran over it, and there was a second car there. And they climbed in the second car, and they watched the bear come out of it. After the bear got itself out, ripped the tire off, then it turned on the car.
It might have just been a complete second car that was recording what was going on.
Yeah, and that car, they freaked out and took off because, I mean, it was obvious it wouldn't take long for that bear to get in any vehicle it wants to get in. Big old Russian brown bear, I believe it was. Yeah, we're a few hundred miles south of Yellowstone where we're at now, and the Tetons and everything. And, you know, fish and game and the supposed experts will dispute the fact that there's grizzlies here, but people are seeing them here.
Maybe you're screwing with me, but that absolutely sounded like a bear.
They're here.
Damn it, Kelly.
Talking about bears on the way
Talking
back?
about bears, and then I hear them.
Well,
Power of suggestion.
it's not the power of suggestion. On the way up, I've thought I heard a couple of bear grunts.
Well, you said you heard them bellow.
Mm-hmm. A couple of bear grunts, a couple of bellows.
It's not like we need to make noise. I mean, they heard us. They heard us a long time ago. Smelled us even sooner.
Well, you don't want to surprise them and slip up on them, so I don't mind making noise. You guys will notice when I'm in the bear territory, and especially when it's dark, I talk a lot more. And that's because I want the bears to know I'm coming. Even the moose. Hopefully the moose will clear out.
Yeah, most moose will clear out before you get there. But
During the rut, or a female with a calf, they'll sometimes want to eliminate the threat.
you are in my territory.
Yeah. Moose are very bullheaded. I look behind me from time to time. 2012, I had a bear following me in the dark.
Most of the way up here, I kept going and looking behind us. The whole time we doing the main cams exchange, I was looking behind us.
Yeah, I was never really as nervous about something slipping up behind me until after that actually happened to us. And that makes sense. Predators like to slip up from behind.
They don't go that high anymore.
My knees are wore out. You can tell it's the beginning of the season. My knees are wore out from the hike up, but it was all uphill. Can't wait to get back to camp and check out what's on these SD cards, man. Two of the cameras had dead batteries, so hopefully we'll be able to tell when those actually died. But one of the cameras still had juice, so.
That's a long time. It was what? November? I think it was late, mid.
7 months.
That's a
The
long
type of camera is rated for a year, though. Rated for a year on alkaline.
That's crazy.
You know, but there are variables. The more they're set off, the more juice they use. So if you got it in a bad situation where the wind's making it go, you can kill the battery, fill the SD card. But I have to say, I've been past that learning curve for several years now. I know how to set up the game cameras to where I'm not capturing vegetation blowing in the wind. Yeah, I challenge anyone.
That damn freaking little cobwebs and stuff that keep catching you in the ear. Maybe I'm getting them all.
I challenge anyone that's never used a game camera to get your first deer. You know, it took me 4 months. Now I get them all the time, but your first several months, you'll find that you get the wind more than anything. Now, usually when a game camera triggers of mine, it's actually an animal. It's not the wind. God, at this altitude, I get winded even hiking downhill.
Put the light. Let's give us a darkness.
Yeah, let's turn off all the lights. Show you guys how dark it is out here.
Just to give you an idea of where we are in relation to going back. When Kelly said earlier in the video, he said, at the sunset going down, went down a couple hours ago or an hour ago, we're standing in the same place, looking at the same thing.
Yeah, you can't see anything. Okay, I am not walking around with no lights. I don't want to go off this cliff.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you go off this cliff, you have a very bad day. Maybe your last day. Your last bad day.
That sucks, so I'll just put a hand down.
Yeah, this is the section I hate when it's muddy or snow. I've eaten shit in this section many times.
Yeah, this is not good.
Impel somebody.
Shit? Yeah, that's not good. I ain't breaking it.
Break it, we may cause a more jagged point. I know I have known people that have been impelled on broken stumps and stuff. As a matter of fact, one of my real good friends growing up, his sister got thrown from a horse when they were up horse riding, and she landed on a stump and got impelled in the hip. Lucky it didn't freaking kill her. I just remember the next year.
You don't even need to get impelled.
The next year they were picking infection and pieces out of her.
You don't even have to get impelled to do a lot of damage. Mike's got a scar clear across the front of him. Looked like he tangled with the damn mountain lion. And that was just out fishing. The bush jacked him up.
Yeah, he still has a scar.
He literally looked like he had gotten in a fight with the mountain lion or something when we saw him.
Yeah. Well, he got scratched more than one place. He got a scar in the one spot, but he had like 4 or 5 big old rake marks across him.
think he took a tumble trying to get to the edge of the water when he caught a fish. Got ripped up.
Mike's a freaking nut. Telling a little story since it's pitch black out here anyway. Mike's out down on a river, out there just out fishing and stuff, and caught his line on the far bank. He's out there just trying to work it, trying to get it back, and he finally popped it and it come back, shooting straight at him, and he just stuck like this. And that damn thing stuck him right in the back of the calf. I mean the hook all the way right around through that sucker on his lure. He grabs his sucker, little pocket knife, and just pulls it out and just goes cut off a big old huge hunk of flesh that he just threw back in on as far as fishing went. Freaking Mike's a nut.
Yeah, he's had some insane moments. He's a fanatical fisherman. He will do anything for that fish. Seen him get scarred up a lot of times. He will go through the thorns and the thick shit and the stinging nettle that other people won't, because he knows other people won't, and there will be a fish in that hole because nobody fishes it. And he's right. He catches some whales in some of those spots.
He actually
I've
kind
actually
of likes the stinging nettle and shit. He likes the feel of it.
Yeah, he likes to walk through stinging nettle before he goes into the water. He likes the sensation of the cold water and the stinging nettle. I don't get it because I don't like stinging nettle at all.
So you ever follow Mike, watch what he's doing.
Yeah, because he'll walk through that stuff, especially if he's fishing. Yeah, we might ask Mike to come on this expedition, and he got stuck at work. Unfortunate that we have to have conventional jobs. I'd sure like to do this 100% of the time. It's actually got me to do stuff I normally wouldn't do. I mean, I've always liked camping and fishing and all that, but you would never catch me going on a 7-mile hike at night. Since we started bigfooting, every once in a while we're out there hiking a mile, 7 miles like we are today. Tonight.
But you know what? If you don't do it, well, not necessarily at night, but night just gives it a whole different exhilaration to it all. But there's so much of this planet, this world you don't see unless you do it. It's not the same.
Well, and even though the Bigfoot, if there's any in this canyon, they know we're here. But people see them at night more often because they're more bold. So even though they know we're here, maybe they'll come in close enough to give us a sighting because they are more bold at night. And they're more active. That's why finding Bigfoot's always going out at night. I think they're a little bit too obsessive with the night thing. I would like to see them do some more day investigations. You know, they do go out there with the witness, and the witness shows them the spot, and then they come back and do their thing at night, but they're starting to mix it up more. A couple of seasons ago, I got bored with them, but I started watching them again, and I think they've been watching us and other groups and starting to adapt. You know, they got themselves a drone. They mess around with game cameras a little bit now, and I noticed they got their knock thing going. They don't knock 3 times anymore. They do the single knock. And I know Bigfoot or suspect Bigfoot knocks, you know, they'll sometimes do more than one, but in my experience, we get one single loud knock. And then they may wait 10 to 30 minutes and do another loud single knock, but you never see them do 3, dom, dom, dom. And back when Finding Bigfoot used to do the 3-knock thing all the time, I used to just sit and cringe. And it's like, you're not speaking their language, man. But I noticed the last episode, Matt and Renee, they did knocks in 2 different groups to each other. And they both did a single loud knock. And I'm like, good for you guys. Even you guys are learning. And I don't know if they watch our videos, but I know some of their producers watch their videos because their old producer, well, he's not a producer, he was actually in research. He researches filming locations for him, Nick Crow. He got a hold of me for logistics on our Deadwood expedition. They were thinking about going out to Deadwood, but he seemed a little bummed out when I told him there's not cell reception in there. There isn't a hotel for them to put 25 people in to recharge camera batteries and stuff. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know if they'll ever make it out there. And Finding Bigfoot doesn't Bigfoot during the summertime, and you can't get into Deadwood until June. So kind of thinking they may not end up in Deadwood. It just doesn't fit their needs for a television show. But hey, group like us, Deadwood's right up our alley. We don't need a hotel.
Hell no.
No. We'll recharge batteries in our cars from time to time if we have to. And we don't have the big $30,000, $60,000 cameras, you know, that take these huge batteries.
$300.
Yep.
Well, these are cheap ones, but
Yeah, the most expensive camera I've ever used is a $1,500 camera. And with all of its accessories, about $2,000.
I lost the camera.
Oh, so you lost a GoPro style camera on your drone, yeah. Drone flew off on us one year.
Drone. I've lost 2. One was just a little one, though.
According to the guy that donated the drone that flew off on us, he said he had $5,000 to $6,000 into it. And I don't think that's exactly what he paid for it brand new. I think replacing parts, this and that.
Having it built.
But, oh yeah, he paid someone to build it, that's right. He's paying for someone's labor. So I know you can build the same thing from the ground up for, including the camera, for probably what, $600-700 bucks?
Probably still more than that. Probably still going to be $1,000.
$1,000 into it, building it yourself. You know what though, the drone parts used to be more expensive. You know, the more mainstream and the more they're producing them,
Right.
it's bringing the price down.
Give it a second here. Right here. And I've been a slacker, people. I got some footage that we need to release from right here. It was some of the coolest footage you ever seen. Had looked like a hawk comes zipping down through this little canyon, following the creek here. Zipped right through these trees, and I could have reached out my hand and grabbed it. And we've yet to release it because I'm the one with the stuff. I need to get it out there and
Derek's been putting together that expedition video. But yeah, it was like a falcon or something.
Falcon or a hawk or something.
That flew right at us.
It cruised past us so dang fast it's sick. I mean, by the time you even knew it was coming, you'll see it in the video. I slowed it down, but you'll see how fast it went cruising right past us.
And Derek caught it on a GoPro style camera that happened to be running. You would have never had the reflexes to get a handheld camera on that in the time it happened. He was lucky enough to have a camera pointed in the direction it came from. But it went zipping through these trees right past us.
At an extremely fast rate.
Yeah, it appeared to me like it was flying about as fast as it could go. It's weird is how Wyatt flew towards us and past us that close, you know.
I think we surprised it as much as anything.
Okay, we're getting close to the section where Mike and I smelt it the one year, and it started walking around us, and we got eye shine. And oh, okay. All right, it's dark. I thought we were a little bit further along than we are.
Yeah, we still gotta cross Bear Cafe.
Yeah, you're right.
We gotta go up right here. Awesome expedition that we had with Brody, Shelly and the kids. We actually had something following us all the way down out of here, and Brody went on point right here and stayed right here as we just kind of kept going up forward, hoping that it would keep coming down. But at the same time, we had the wood knock and was gifted that
staff.
Yeah.
Well, Bernie and I had a day that we come back in here, and something kept on banging every once in a while, whap, and you know, it kept on. It pretty much paralleled this from a small distance to stay out of sight or whatever. It kept on whack, whack, you know, every once in a while, and then on our way out, you know, the wood knocking stopped, and then right where it chokes and narrows down past the Bear Cafe,
Yeah.
on a big flat rock it was laying there was a large cherry wood stick. I mean, it was thicker than a thick part of a baseball bat, and both ends had you could tell they'd been bashed into trees or rocks. So it was like the stick that it was using that whole day, it gifted to us, because that flat rock that we passed, it was the size of a table, the top of a table. There was nothing on it on the way in, and then on the way out, all that knocking, and then bam, there's a big old heavy cherry wood stick. That was freaky.
I think this is a good area just for the fact that it is a choke point. Because everything comes to such a, because you're so close. I mean,
You got to be able to scale cliffs on
straight up
either
both
side
sides.
practically.
And just this little creek. So you're at a choking point, and probably not the worst place in the world for a game camp. Maybe.
But every once in a while, what little spidey senses I have start tingling. Whether it's a rabbit, a squirrel, or whatever, every once in a while I feel like I'm being watched in here. That bedding spot we found on the way in. This tree may have come down naturally, but something has used it to sleep in. It's obvious something's laid in it.
It looks like stuff literally ripped right out.
Well, something was laid right here. Right on.
I wish, if it was in day,
We'd
I'd
really
look
check
some
it for hair,
hairs or
yeah.
something, but
Yeah, I'm ready to see what we captured on game camera this winter. We have a few more game cameras on top of Monte Cristo that have been out all winter long, and it's usually mid-June, July before you can get in up there.
yeah, those are
The snow, that's 9,500 feet. The snow,
9,500 to 10,000 feet.
the snow lingers up there until July sometimes, and so it'll be interesting to see what's on those ones also. That is a 6-time Bigfoot sighting hotspot. I know 3 people personally that have seen, well, actually more than that, because there's 3 different incidences where people I know saw Bigfoot, and one of them, 2 guys actually saw it at the same time. Austin and his dad both saw a Bigfoot up there. They thought it was a bear. They were
And I'd have had great drone footage of right where that happened if it wasn't for the fact
that's the day it flew off.
that's the day it flew off. It's the day I lost it up there.
Yeah, Austin and his dad were up there deer hunting.
More care about
And
the footage than I did the drone.
and there was a creek that was kind of like dug in like a ditch, and they thought they saw a bear down in it, you know. And so they stopped and started observing it. You know, hey, look, a bear, blah, 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 blah. And the Bigfoot must have known that they were watching it. It was down on all 4s inside of this creek. And pretty soon it must have got nervous, in my opinion, knowing it was being watched. And it finally stood up and started walking off. And it walked across the clearing, up a hill into a tree line. And they said that they observed it for a minute and a half. It took it about a minute and a half to walk that far.
It was only about 30, 40 yards away. Wasn't there an old cattle trough or something that was sitting there?
There is a cattle trough close to there. Yeah, they siphon out water in there. The free rangers do to water their cattle. But that is kind of freaky. What trips me out is Austin told me that story, and I'd been studying the area. I'd been Bigfooting the area for years. And anyway, Austin told me that him and his dad had seen a Bigfoot hunting, and he would like to take me there. So they invited us to their family's cabin that was probably about 5 miles from there. And, you know, we go up to stay at the cabin, and I'm sitting there thinking, God, this is close to the hot spot in Monte Cristo. And so Austin's like, yeah, tomorrow I'll take you to where me and my dad seen it. And he takes me right to where I keep my game cameras. And I was just tripping. I'm like, no way. And then when he told me the story and described it to me, it was a very dark black Bigfoot, you know. And a lot of people that see it in that area say it's like the color of a burnt stump, you know, burnt black. So, you know, all 6 witnesses up there are describing the same color Bigfoot, you know. You know, and people see brown ones and kind of reddish ones, and, you know, even white once in a while, especially in the wintertime.
That is a vast wilderness, too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're out.
And every once in a while people will see the blonde ones, you know. I think they come in every color that a grizzly bear can, you know. And so everybody's seeing a burnt black one up there. And Austin had no idea about these other sightings that I knew about up there. You know, I just barely told him I was into Bigfooting, and he's like, oh, I've seen it, you know. Let me take you to where I seen it. And then he takes me to a Bigfoot sighting hotspot, and it's just like, I'm just like, I believe you. And he's like, no way, nobody, you know, everybody gives me crap. And I'm like, dude, I've been studying this spot for years.
Wasn't Mike's nephew? Didn't he describe one? With the dark black?
Uh-huh.
That's not Monte Cristo, but it's the same thing.
It's the same range of mountains.
Yeah.
It's still the Wasatch Front kind of area.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah. There's a cliff right there.
Yeah, that's a...
100-foot drop.
Yeah, let's go. Sorry, I just threw that on camera.
Yeah. I think I can delete the F word.
Just mute it for a half a second.
Yeah, we make a conscious effort not to put vulgar stuff like the F word on our videos. I laugh at the guys that think they're cool because they cuss. It's funny. And not to offend anybody, guys that have shows where they sit around and cuss, but it really makes you look like a nerd that wants to be cool. So, just throwing that out there. Something's walking around over there.
That was big.
Something's walking around across this little canyon from us.
Dude, that was big. Dude, I felt it.
The thump.
I felt it.
God, it's a pretty clear night.
I'm just glad that it's a hell of a cliff right here. So whatever's got to go through hell to get to us right here is that big. Maybe we might catch some eye shine or something. But dude, that was big. That was huge.
I'm on my second battery and I'm halfway on the juice. Hopefully we can end this expedition.
I hope the camera picked that up.
I hope it picks up 10% of the stuff that we heard. This microphone isn't very powerful on this camera, and unfortunately there's not an external mic port. Otherwise I would have my shotgun mic on it. My daytime camera, I put a shotgun mic. We'll eventually get these night cameras upgraded to ones that we can put accessories on. But at least we have something to record our little night adventures when we're forced to go and hike at night.
We're about to go over there too.
I know, I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to run into a big old moose. And if we do, I hope I can mace it before he gets us. I really shouldn't say mace, pepper spray.
Holy shit, Juice.
Yeah, they're pretty close to the same formula.
That was a huge.
Wish these night vision cameras had more range. Taking my time, my knees are already sloppy.
Yeah, coming down, your knees get sloppy. You know, seeing all these moose tracks, you know what makes me want? When I get home, I'm going to buy me some Moose Tracks ice cream because that stuff's good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ice creams too. Nuts and chocolate.
Good stuff.
Yeah, ice cream's one of my weaknesses if you can't tell.
Absolutely. Got a hell of a weakness to pie too. I really hope whatever it was just kept going.
Well, when there's Bigfoot in the area, one will parallel you in and out of its territory. And I think, you know, its family or its clan or whatever you call it, it just wants to keep an eye on you for everybody for safety reasons.
What bugged me is if it was a moose or if it was an elk or even a deer. Because a deer makes pretty loud. It takes off.
Well,
It's more than just a big, huge. It was like something took a big jump and just landed. Like it jumped off of
Thump.
one of these cliffs and just jumped down. And then very, you know, it made the noise because you couldn't hide that much weight hitting the ground from a distance.
Well, that stuff over there just,
It's straight up and down.
it's not something that you normally would think that you would see a moose on at night.
No.
It's more of bighorn sheep type stuff.
Yep.
Because it's cliffs and straight up and down, but hell, I've seen elk and deer go up and down shit like that, so
Oh man. Like it's nothing. Snow. We got some snow.
yeah, I felt a couple of snowflakes come down. See, that's, even though that storm isn't supposed to hit till noon tomorrow, I was afraid it would hit early and we would be screwed out of getting those game camera service, so that's why we're out here tonight.
But you know there's still snow. A little bit.
So yeah, we did this night hike out of necessity. We would have preferred to do this in the daytime. So our last nighttime hike was out of necessity too, when we had to reposition those cameras. Yeah, there was a Bigfoot sighting here about
Last September?
yeah, about 9 months ago. There was a Bigfoot sighting, and we come in almost, I think it was the day after. We come in and we hiked at night at the 77 sighting location. We grabbed those game cameras and we moved them closer to the Bigfoot sighting. So we hiked at night, got those. The next day, bam.
Look how big that tree is and how bold it is. Look at that.
The clarity just, it was just crystal clear, and we've just hit a section where we're like, there's a little bit of fog or cloud or whatever. Did you notice?
Yep, I do.
And the temperature dropped. Yep, the temperature just dropped on us, and the clarity just changed. We're walking in a cloud. We named this the Bear Cafe, one, because we have lunches here quite often, and number two, we find a lot of bear footprints coming up and drinking right here. So,
And there's a bear cave.
yep. You guys that belly crawl and tiptoe while bigfooting, more power to you. But I just don't feel like belly crawling for 7 miles. This little section here, I can tell people have rode on horses.
Quite a few bit.
Yeah, it's really changed the angle. It's actually a safer angle. I think horses coming down this has really improved the quality. You know, we ran into some elk hunters that said they were gonna clean up some of the deadfall so they could easily get their horses in and out, and I was kind of upset. It's like, man, they're moving into our Bigfoot spot, they're gonna ruin it. But you know, they only come back in here for a couple of weeks to a month during the hunt, and the horses walking back in here has actually improved the trail that we use. Actually, the first couple of years we started coming back in here, we could tell nobody was using it, and there wasn't really a trail. We've kind of made the trail, and we're getting close to the section that Mike and I had something walking around us, and we got the eye shine. You know, and people are like, you know, you guys need to tiptoe around and be quiet. You'll never see Bigfoot. Well, we were walking on this shell and blah, 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 blah. And its curiosity obviously brought it in close to look at us. So, you people that think you have to tiptoe around to see Bigfoot, yeah.
Just gotta be normal. Just do your thing.
Yeah, sometimes, especially at night, gets more bold and its curiosity gets the better of it, and then you get a glimpse of it. We're gonna have to check for ticks when we get to camp.
Always a good thing.
This place isn't infested with ticks. I've only had a handful of them on me ever in here. I like to get to them before they bite me, for sure.
And about ticks and, you know, making sure you get them off. I mentioned that a couple days ago I had saw an article, and, you know, maybe some of you guys saw the same thing. It wasn't an article, it was actually a news recast on this. And a lady had got bitten by a tick down in Texas. And experts nowadays are blaming those tick bites on producing allergies, and the lady can no longer eat meat now because of it.
Well, I know they know that Lyme disease comes from ticks that are infected, and they also call it Rocky Mountain fever, but they've also found some other illnesses that come from that too. So it's really bad news. You just don't want them to bite you. You know, check a few.
Make sure you get them out properly.
Check a few times during the hike, and definitely go over yourself after a hike. You know, and I've gotten a lot of ticks off of me before they've actually bit me.
Oh yeah.
I've only actually been bit once, and the tick that bit me had not burrowed to blood yet. So I got it out of me before it actually drew blood.
And do yourself a favor and do your pets a favor. Watch your dogs too, your cats, whatever. Dogs. Take them out hiking in places like this, man. Take care of them. Yeah, I'm a dog lover.
Okay, and I've studied how the proper way to remove a tick. You know, I always thought that you heat up a needle and you burn it and it backs its way out, and they don't back out for some reason. I've tried it, and a lot of times burning them like that kills them, so now they're dead in you. The best thing to do is get yourself a good pair of tweezers, and you get in on either side of their head and you pull them out by the mouth. That is, from what I've read, a lot of medical people have said that that's the way they want you removing them. And a lot of times when you grab them like that, they want to back out anyway.
I was under the impression you could keep a drop of Carol syrup. Look, right over top of it.
Well, we've tried a lot of remedies to remove them. Jenny got bit by one, and they say, you know, put something on them to stop the breathing, like Vaseline or baby's oil. And we tried both, and that tick wouldn't back out. So we burned it with a needle and ended up dying and didn't back out. Nothing we did would get it to back out. So in the end, we had to pull it out. We had to pull it out with a pair of tweezers in the end anyway. So, but we haven't tried the Carol syrup thing.
Is it on?
It is now. It's face down at your bill. That's better.
Yeah, this thing's dead.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's done.
It's giving off some light.
I'm holding it in. It won't stay on anymore. And the light's red.
Well, we're almost out of here. We're only got like about a half a mile or so. We're getting to the section where Mike and I got the eye shine, where whatever was walking around us on the rocks. And we could smell a skunky BO that night too. This is the direction I usually go through here. Wow. I hate this section at night. Just kind of creepy. When we saw that eye shine on the footage a couple of days later, just creeped me out that something that tall was that close to us.
Careful.
That night we were using an IR spotlight, and you really can't see IR except for when it's actually coming off of the source, but it doesn't illuminate back to the human eyes. It's hardly detectable off of plants and whatever. So I don't think we could see the reflection with our own eyes, but the camera, the IR camera, picked up the reflection. Yeah, we're really close to where it happened. Actually, we're beyond where it happened. It was walking around on those shell rocks behind us. I don't know. We're close though. God, I've gotten a lot of spider webs on me. That's why you let me take the lead. I'm on freaking spider patrol. They're getting their webs weaved tonight, aren't they? I'm covered in spider webs. I feel them all up and down my forearms.
Yep.
I know when it gets spider webby like this, Jenny gets a hiking staff and she waves it out in front of her as she walks. Whoa, did you smell that? I got a skunky scent. We're really close to Lookout Canyon. And I can feel the wind coming to whatever's making the skunky smells coming out of that canyon. It's either a skunk or a fucking Bigfoot. A funky Bigfoot. They do have some funk.
It's been hot as hell and humid, so I'll tell you right now it is hot and it's sweating.
I'm
this
hot.
is Lookout
I'm
Canyon.
hot and sweating.
So we haven't passed it because this is Lookout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just
That
ahead
little
of us
breeze,
is-
that little breeze is coming out of that canyon. So whatever we're smelling is coming right out of this Lookout Canyon.
Ice shine happened just right over here.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the eye shine happened really close to the mouth of Lookout, didn't it?
Yeah, you're 50 feet, 60 feet.
Ugh. That's the first freaking Bigfooty smell I've smelt all night. It's just now. Yeah, about 20 paces back there, I got a big whiff of it. I would not. I like doing the mouth pop thing.
This tree. Right here. That tree.
Yeah,
And right here.
yeah. It was right around here somewhere.
Something that was whistling. It's coming from the left.
I heard it too. It sounded like a little bit of a high-pitched whoop.
Which I've heard multiple times tonight.
Ooh, I thought I caught some eye shine there for a second. Oop, I smell some skunky BO again. Something's close enough that we can smell it. Well, we're a couple hundred yards from our vehicle, and then our camp's a few miles from here. Oh, my spotlight just died. Nick of time. Wow, I don't like that. It didn't even give me any warning it was getting low. It's completely dead now, though. That's pretty good. This spotlight lasted about 3 hours.
I thought this one was dying, but it's been staying on.
Yeah, I left mine off for a couple of minutes. Oh, you know what? When they start to get too hot, they'll turn off. Mine's not dead. I just need to leave it off for a little while. It got too hot. All right, folks. Well, the battery's getting low in the camera. So in case it dies before we make the last couple hundred yards out of here, I hope you enjoyed this night investigation. Something we really didn't want to do, but that storm's coming in tomorrow, and we catch anything on those game cameras, which I'm sure we did. We usually get stuff in here. We'll put those at the end of this video. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching. Whoop, whoop. It's very compelling. We're going to explore some of these side canyons.